post the earnings call, they held a breakout session with investor relations with the sell side. And there were a lot of questions about how broadband or how competition is now shifting from wireless over to broadband. I actually think AT&T is in a great position relative to their competitors because they're the fiber leader and they're about to buy Lumen's fiber business and add another million fiber subscribers there. So, in terms of their ability to sell what are called converged packages or wireless together with broadband, they're in a great position there because they have both fiber and they have a smaller fixed wireless access business, which is that wireless broadband product.
John, this is a company, AT&T, that spends $22 billion in CapEx every year. What is that CapEx for typically?
A lot of it, Paul, is going towards wireless network upgrades as well as the deployment of fiber. So this year, for example, they're going to add 5 million new fiber homes, but it costs about $2,000, maybe twice that in some markets, to build a new what's called a fiber homes pass. So a lot of capital is getting spent this year, next year, and maybe to a little bit of a lesser degree in 28. That's sort of laying the foundation to build out that fiber network and that 5G wireless network. Beyond that, AT&T has said we're going to cut our CapEx. We're going to lower our capital intensity, and you're going to see a lot more free cash flow through, and they're going to be able to fund hopefully some dividend growth after that and increase the share buyback.
Yeah, I'm looking at the dividend yield for AT&T, 4.6%. For Verizon, it's almost 7%. For T-Mobile, a little bit less at 2.19%. John, where do the telecoms stand when it comes to this rotation out of big tech, looking for some cyclicals, looking for parts of the market that haven't been overbought?
So it's a good question, Scarlett. I always say telecoms, particularly the dividend payers like AT&T and Verizon, are bond proxies to a degree. I think sentiment has been pushed around a little bit by the fact that we have new CEOs at both Verizon and T-Mobile, and these guys are going to be looking to make their mark. Verizon on Friday is going to set out a new strategy set by Dan Schulman, who is the new CEO there. So there's been a little bit of concern, or more than a little bit of concern, that the competitive intensity in wireless is going to pick up as these new CEOs look to make their mark. And I think that has led to some of the pressure, particularly on AT&T, though, again, this morning, I think they put a lot of those concerns to rest by reiterating their fiber plans and laying out new free cash flow guidance.
John, on the competitive land front, where are the cable companies these days?
They're struggling, Paul. I mean, they're at a technology disadvantage in that they're offering broadband over those legacy coaxial cable networks. They're doing what they can to upgrade the technology and increase speeds on those networks. But at the end of the day, fiber really is a superior product to everything else on the market. And fixed wireless access, which has been offered by the telcos, has been a very popular choice given the fact that it's an easy setup. It's over the air, so there's very little problems with it. It's pretty much problem free as broadband goes. Over time, it sort of has a headroom problem. It can't offer the same speeds as fiber, but through it all, cable is sort of flying underneath those two products, sort of trying to compete with what is a legacy product in the market.
John, did we learn anything from AT&T's results regarding iPhones and consumers signing on for the latest version of the iPhone?
So, great question. It's very interesting. AT&T over-indexes to the iPhone. They have a lot more users than Verizon or T-Mobile because they had an early exclusivity deal when the iPhone first launched. They were asked about the foldable iPhone that's rumored to be coming out next year and whether that's really going to move the dial for them. Their answer to me was interesting. I didn't expect it, which is they've been tracking the performance and the sales of the foldables that they have available on the network today on the Android side. And their expectation is that we won't see a huge bump in
Huh.
iPhone sales next year with a foldable model. I think time will tell. I actually think foldables are going to resonate well with people. And Android isn't always the best read through there. I think it's a different kind of user that's on the Android phone
Sure.
versus iPhone, but we'll have to see in the fall.